The main difference between a normal person and a supermodel is tongue posture. The problem is no one is able to properly keep their tongue on the roof of their mouths because they have a tongue tie. So here is exactly how to test whether you have a tongue tie and also how to fix it. And for reference, here is my own transformation of my tongue tie from this to this, my front profile and my side profile, to show that I actually do what I say and that I at least somewhat know what I'm talking about. And if you want more proof, here are loads of client transformations. And if you aren't familiar with this channel, my name is Oscar Patel. I help people improve their looks by fixing the actual root cause, which is their health. We were all made to be perfect. We have just deviated from the way that we were intended to live. And if this fascinates you, you can check out the link in the description. My school community is currently the #1 ranked health community in the world. And if you want a personalized plan, if you want to work with me directly, and if you want to begin finally taking action and becoming the best version of yourself, you can click the link. But let's get back into this video. Firstly, if you want to test whether you have a tongue tie, what I want you to do is open your mouth as wide as possible like this. From there, I want you to say the letter T like this. T, t, t. I want you to hold your tongue at that T spot. And then I want you to try and open your mouth as wide as possible while keeping your tongue at the T spot like this. If you're not able to open your mouth as wide as possible while keeping your tongue on the T spot, then you have a tongue tie, which is restricting facial development. And by the way, if you're for some reason freaked out, do not worry. This is the most normal thing in the world. There is basically no exception to this. Even if you were to get your tongue tie cut and released, which is a real thing, it literally grows back because everyone reverts to their baseline habits and you cannot outsmart the body. So people try to get it cut, and this is dozens of the clients that I currently work with. Their tongue tie literally regrows back, their face becomes stuck again, it becomes less mobile, and their sutures, their fascia, and their muscles become super constricted. So if you can't just get it cut and released, how do you actually fix your tongue tie? Well, you have to stretch the fascia and activate the muscles. The first exercise that I want you to do, and I'm not going to waste any more of your time, is I want you to literally repeat that first exercise. Say the letter T and begin to open up your mouth as wide as possible. This should be the first thing you do every single time you train to loosen the tongue tie. You go like this. If you're not able to do that comfortably and easily, then at least you'll be able to track your progress at the start of every session. You'll know from day to day what is improving, whether you feel more mobility, whether you're at least able to feel the skin under your jaw tightening. Again, if you have a tongue tie, the reason you have skin under your jaw is because your tongue isn't suctioned to the roof of your mouth, and as a result, the hyoid bone sits low, and so this will also directly help with that. Yes, that is the first exercise I want you to do. I want you to do 7 repetitions of that just to get everything activated. From there, I want you to do the most fundamental tongue tie exercise that there is, and the most important exercise that transformed me from this to this. You're going to say the letter T again, t, t. Hold your tongue at that T spot, push your tongue backwards with your finger and resist forwards with your tongue and create this force, and you should feel it directly under here in the tongue tie. So you're gonna go like this. You're not quite at the T spot, your tongue is trying to get to that T spot and your finger is pushing directly back, preventing it from getting there. You should feel a stretch in the tongue tie. This should activate the genioglossus and hyoglossus muscles, which are fundamental for proper tongue posture in the long run. And you should instantly feel your breathing and your posture improve directly after doing this. I want you to hold this for 20 seconds and I want you to do this multiple times throughout the day. You can do it as many times as you want. I would recommend doing it for 20-second holds literally throughout the day, in the exact same way that I would recommend to do thumb pulling if you really want to do it effectively. As many times throughout the day as possible in kind of 2-minute sessions. It's the same thing with this. Do it 4 or 5 times a day, hold it for 20 seconds, repeat. And this is how you maintain consistent, effective pressure. This is why it's more powerful to do things yourself rather than go to a craniosacral therapist, a tongue tie specialist, or a myofunctional therapist, because they can't do it to you every single day. You can go and see them once or twice a week, but you need to be doing this consistently every single day, and they can't go in your own body and feel what you're feeling. You know what's best, you know what's stretching the most, and you understand how your body actually functions, and you can also do it more consistently. And after doing this exercise, what I want you to do is make sure that you are suction mewing directly after. When you have this temporary increase in mobility of the tongue, make sure you're using it. You won't be able to fully get your tongue on the roof of your mouth, and especially the back third for most people. So right after doing the exercise, suction mew, I have another video explaining how to do that. Do that for the entire day as much as possible. The next exercise is another stretch, but before you stretch your tongue, do not forget to stretch to push the subscribe button. God, another terrible one, but yeah, do not forget to subscribe. Again, if you want to support the channel, if you want to help me get my mission out and help people improve their structural health and therefore improve their looks, support the channel. But let's get back into this final exercise. What you're going to do is you're going to stick your tongue directly forward as far as possible, but most importantly, you're going to stand against the wall. You're going to chin tuck first. You're going to keep your feet 6 inches off the wall. You're going to try and align your posture fully. From there, you're going to stick your tongue directly forward as far as possible. You're going to hold it for 10 seconds in the front, 10 seconds to the left, and 10 seconds to the right. This is how you can actually engage the fascia within the body. The tongue is the base of the epicranial fascia. Therefore, you need to stretch it out as far as possible and increase the mobility in order to prevent the fascia from constricting the face backwards and also from constricting the tongue tie downward. I want you to repeat this 2 times. Again, repeat this a few times throughout the day. This shouldn't be that hard to fix. This shouldn't take more than a couple weeks and maximum a couple months. And once you have this newfound mobility, once you are able to fully suction your tongue on the roof of your mouth, all you need to do is maintain the suction. You just need to mew properly. There are more specific cases. If someone's tongue tie restricts things in a certain direction, if your tongue tie is the root cause of asymmetry, which is possible in many situations, if your tongue tie is also linked to fascial adhesions within the body, if you don't have a tongue tie and you feel you're able to get your tongue on the roof of your mouth, but your face still isn't as developed as it should be, there are loads of different deficiencies for each different person. And as a result, there is a different routine and different goals that everyone needs to focus on. That is exactly why I created the community. So as a final thing, if you would like to join the community, if you would like to work directly, and if you really want to see quick, fast results and implement things properly, then get some accountability, get all the information and go for it. And finally, here's the before and after in a matter of weeks of a female client in her 50s who did some of these exercises and rewired things instantly. Some motivation to end the video. Have a good day.